Hello, beautiful friends, conscious creatives, performing artists. I'm Marissa Moses, and this is our 19th day of daily embodiment practice for the month of December of 2022. I began this series because I was frustrated with not feeling like I had the energy, capacity, clarity, direct drive of intention to be able to make my way further into this project, Self Care for Performers. And so we're utilizing this month co-creatively. One, I am embodying what I need in order to feel like I can show up more fully into this project. And two, I'm hoping that as I move through what I need to move through, there will be some insights or parallels in perhaps some of your creative blocks and the ways in which you desire to move forward in your creative career or the sort of soul calling that you have that wants to move you forward. This is helping me in ways by allowing me to just keep practicing day by day. You know, as artists, as performers, we have to show up to bar if we're a ballet dancer, right? We have to show up to class if we're an actor. We need to show up to practice our instrument if we're a musician, and we need to be in practice with our practice. And while I have my own personal solo practices that I utilize and work through, the sharing process has been something that's been a clunkier ride for me in certain ways, in the ways in which the kind of work I love to do, such as is embodied through Self Care for Performers, is inherently vulnerable, honest, deconstructive, and also constructive. And it feels like it has the capacity to house the full gamut of the human experience. And it often does in the classes that I've guided through that have been more a semester basis, where I've had groups of college students that I've guided through self-care practices in different ways. And depending on the group, the cohort that I get, it evolves differently. And what I am learning about the beauty of that is that I have the opportunity to meet you right where you're at. I also, in this embodiment series practice, have the opportunity to meet myself right where I'm at. And I also have the beautiful invitation for you to join me in meeting us together wherever we're at. So, in this episode today, I am feeling very enlivened. I had a nice full day helping a friend out with a showcase at her dance recital. And so there's a lot of energy that I have flowing from a really wonderful, beautiful, successful day with lots of little kids and families and tutus and all of the beautiful things. So, today I'm going to bring in a book. I've been bringing in books. We worked for the first 15 days out of just one book, which was all art therapy exercises. And it was a book called Essential Art Therapy Exercises by Leah Guzman. Fantastic. We've moved through another couple of titles since then. And today I feel drawn to bring in this beautiful book, The Drummer and the Great Mountain, a guidebook to transforming adult ADD and ADHD by Michael Joseph Ferguson. And this was recommended from a woman who I just adore her work and her soul essence and the way she shows up online and social media and how she holds space. I've been to one of her space holding circles online on Zoom. And I've had this really beautiful, and we don't really know each other, but I think that there's this lovely connection in just voice memos that we've left for each other here and there, of being able to feel very resonant with the kind of work that each of us are doing. And she is under Sacred Life Animism, and her name is Angela Pryder, I believe. Let me double check that real fast. Hold on one second. Her name is Angela, but she goes by Little Bird. And she is on Instagram. Go look her up, Sacred Life Animism. And she does soul medicine and coaching and integration. And her little tagline is, "Come home to deep conscious connection with your soul nature and ancestors, animistic soul medicine, psychedelic somatic support, cacao sound. And I love so much of her work because it is so body-based, it is so soul-oriented. I think in our society and our hustle culture and just the broader aspect of society, spirituality is often up and forward. And I love that her soul medicine, it is inclusive of the deeper, darker components of grief and togetherness and community and ancestry, and really deepening into the animistic traditions of different cultures that 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 house a kind of depth that feels really good to me. That is something that I very truly feel resonant with in my sense of soul care as I move forward with self-care for performers. That sometimes when we show up and we're ready in show mode, in go mode, there can be a tendency to sort of almost break off from the lower half of us and rise to meet people. And while there's to a degree, it can be really healthy and helpful to have a forward-facing connective point that we're able to touch into with others, it also is such a beautiful thing when you can house the all of an experience and then move forward. I find that for me at least, I find that what that does is it allows me to get a sense of the full picture so that I'm not just going with the next best thing, even though I love to do that. And that is part of what I also follow sometimes. But when I really feel like I'm tuned and tapped into the depth of my body, into my soma, then there is this ability to see a sort of big picture while also holding the expression of what's happening in a project, in my life, in a relationship, however that's going to manifest. So today we're going to read out of this book, and we are going to talk about the essential components of visioning. Let me put my glasses on. Okay. Whether it's visioning for a creative project, a business, or your life, the basic principles involved are always the same. Pure and simple, you vision to get clear about what you want to create. You are envisioning what it will look like when your ideas are in full form. If you're not clear on what you want, how can you possibly create it? You'll just move through the world with some vague idea of what you'd like to have, but it will most likely stay just that, vague. No matter what specific process you use, visioning should accomplish the following: provide clarity about what you want to create, clarify what you don't want to create, create a basic roadmap to work from. By going through a visioning process, many times it will reveal that what you thought you wanted isn't actually it. Therefore, your primary objective is always clarity. I love this. So there's now going to be a couple of visioning steps that we can walk through. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe do the steps with you in upcoming videos and do a little build. This feels good to me tonight. That's my intention and goal. So unless something very specific happens where I feel like I am directed in another way very intensely, we'll stick to that. So, but today, just from that section, I'd like to do a couple of embodiments, and I'm just going to do what was bullet pointed. So we'll start with, no matter what process you use, visioning should accomplish the following. So we'll start with the first one. Provide clarity about what you want to create. So I'm going to start with that. I am now what I want to create. Okay. I am now what I want to create. Whew. I want to take my glasses off and step back and allow things to be a little blurry. Allow there to be a wash of experience to happen where I don't feel so focused. Where, ooh, there goes the floor creak. Where I feel like there's a not a haze, but not a haze, like a overarching essence and quality and atmosphere that feels nourishing and like I'm a fish in water and I can breathe. Like I'm creating the environment that allows there to be a natural organic match card with breath, life, being, access. And I want that for me, and I want that for you, and I want that for the all of us that come in and out of this work that is a part of the embodiment series that we're doing for this Self-Care for Performers challenge. Next, number 2, clarify what you don't want to create. I am now what I don't want to create. Oh, I just got pulled down right here on the right side, like the whole right side of my face got sour and my knee is hurting and I'm like falling over and collapsing on this right masculine side of my body. Yeah, I don't want to create that. But it's like my neck is tight. My eyes are closed, like viciously closed. I feel like I'm just like, I can't. There's no capacity. There's no way forward. There's no anything. It's just, I don't want that. I want to sit down and I don't know, something feels like I need to organically move through this and let it become different. Not just know this is not what I want, but also like, okay, so how do we let some of this go? It's like I have to straighten out my spine. I have to get clear in alignment and then allow my thoughts to widen. And then allow like a holistic integration of what's very specifically in front of me. Like what could I house or hold in sort of this sphere? And it feels like right in front of my vocal region. So I'm going to breathe in and open that space. And feel like my heart can like shine, like Care Bear stare style. I know that's their belly, but the Care Bears. Gotta love them. And I want to stretch my neck out from one side to the other and just get the mobility, the motility available in my joints, in my spine. It's like just let it practice moving with no forced, rigid, like it's important. It's not like you didn't do that right. It's important that it's like, no, we're just doing basic motions. And we're learning that abuse doesn't need to come along with just basic practice. Self-care for performers is you do not need to abuse yourself in order to get better at your craft, at your career, at being a person. There can be a caring component. And I just want to like take off the layers of learned abusive strategies that it feels like is in this piece of what I don't want to create. So I just want to take that off. If you'd like to scratch your head too, I welcome it. And just shake off anything that you don't want in your life, in your career, in your creative energies. Just get it out of there. It's not what you want. So say goodbye. Goodbye. Okay. Last one. Create a basic roadmap to work from. Basic roadmap. Ooh, I am now my basic roadmap. Heart steady. Breath willing to receive and release. Ground supportive, integrative. and a little bit of a bolster to the back of the cranium. From there, eyes open, but I want to say they don't just open, which is what they did. I want to say eyes soften, softening a gaze, allowing the heart to continue to be steady, the pelvis to be secure, the feet to receive the weight of myself, and to touch the texture of the earth. Supple, nuanced, relational, loving, sensual. Consensual, pleasurable, mutual. Has to be mutual. If it's not mutual, it doesn't work. Meaning, if you don't want to be here, it's important you honor that. If I don't want to be here, it's important that I navigate the rests that I need, the breaks that I need, directional alignment of focus that I require in order to feel like I'm a match. That there are ways that I can carve and play and strategize my way through this project, this life, this career, this planet, where I feel like I have little antennae and they can feel and reach and sense into surroundings so that I know what's out there. And for now, just that much is important. For now. Hey, that's it for today. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow for our next episode. And hopefully, and it feels right, at least as of now, we might just continue with this book and the visioning process into the steps provided and see what comes up. Some of them are journaling prompts. And so I've noticed that it's fun to do journaling exercises in the form of embodiment practice. So we'll see how it keeps going. If you want the printouts of each day's practice and in a way that you can see and be invited into your own self-care embodiment series and join me in this 31-day challenge, 30 days plus a closing ceremony on the 31st of December. I would love to invite you into the Self-Care Garden, which is my Patreon community. And there are private comments and you can personal message me there. There's also a link in each post to join the private Facebook group where you can share about your process of cultivating a more self-caring relationship to yourself as a performing artist, as an embodied entrepreneur, as a messy human, figuring out how best to show up in the world and step into the roles of your life. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow.